Margaret?
I am all yours, detective.
Alright, answer these 3 sets of questions for me, unless these cause me to have more questions. Did you ever speak with the Major about how he treated Madame Bosch?
Why would I actively choose to speak to that wretched man?
Because he was a variable in your friend's life?
You were quite adamant of your protection of Madame. If he was as awful as you portrayed him to be, there must have been some words spoken, or perhaps written?
He was quite aware of how I felt towards him, and the lengths he has gone to remain close to the family. That is all that needs to be said.
Okay.
I must admit, I would not want to be on the receiving end of your tongue's wrath, Countess.
Wise thinking, detective.
Next question. I'm sure you have noticed Madame's absence.
I imagine she will have shed a tear for him, but she should not waste any more.
You don't think she would? Or you don't want her to?
Probably both.
I have made it quite clear what I think of that man, alive or dead. I would not want her to waste anything further on him.
I don't know who has the sharper tongue, Madame Bosch or the Countess. It's certainly a close race for the first place. Alright, well, tell me about Silva.
What of it?
Do you believe there was something more to their friendship?
As I have said, detective, I am not one to gossip.
I would not even consider your name and that word in the same sentence.
Neither would I, but I need you to.
Because it is not gossip when it's the truth.
I'm not sure that is exactly correct, but the Countess has made a bold attempt to justify her wagging tongue.
Why else do you think he would stay around for so long? Yes, he was a friend and partner to the Viscount, but it is plain to see it is Cassandra's partnership he longs for.
Yeah, I can see that. You have explained that the Major was trying to remain close to the family, but not why.
He was a disgusting leech that was driven only by money and power, like most men.
I can assure you not all men are concerned with such egotistical wealth.
No, but society unfortunately is.
That may be, but they are few and far between. I believe you are a special case, Detective Poirot.
It is not the first time I have been described in such a way.
Embrace the compliment, Detective. You have set yourself apart from the horrid crétins that seem to somehow make their way into positions of authority and power.
And that is what the Major was doing? Using Madame Van den Bosch as his ladder to the top?
You are finally seeing the man he was. A weak and self-indulgent social climber.
The Countess has certainly opened my eyes to the Major's true ambitions. With the Van den Bosch family, I wonder if Madame herself is aware of his greed and hunger for social recognition.
Merci, Countess. If I have any further questions, I shall be sure to come and find you.
Alright, let's check. Need to talk to Jackie again and to Gideon.
No trouble at all. How can I help?
Alright, tell me more about your brother.
I believe there are more important matters at hand than talking about my brother and I's relationship, or lack thereof.
Well, I was talking more about his time in the war.
The murderer is in his house, and by holding back information that may help my investigation, you only make me suspicious of your involvement. Monsieur Demire, if you continue to withhold information, I can only assume you are hiding something, and must treat you as a prime suspect in the Major's murder.
I have nothing to hide. If you must know, we have not been on the best terms for years now. As I said, we are different people.
That's obvious.
He does not see the importance of planning for the future. And as much as my parents tried, they could not make him see that. I suppose that is why he sees me as their favorite.
He still believes that now?
I assume so. We barely talk anymore. I was hoping we would be able to sit down and talk and leave the past behind.
This evening was not planned. That has not panned out that way.
If you would be so kind as to stay here, I may require your help further.
Alright, now back to Jackie.
You came to the right place. What do you need?
What are your thoughts on the Countess? I'd appreciate your opinion on her.
I don't know if you really would. She's got a mouth the size of Texas, except when it comes to truths about her.
She wants everyone to think that she's the savior of these girls at the shelter. But there's a side to her I don't think anyone gets to see.
Well,
And
that's
what
true.
side is that?
One that she is keeping tucked away under her very expensive dress.
I can only see the work at a woman's shelter as positive, even if the reason to start came from a selfish place. The work they do cannot be scoffed at.
You have been most helpful. I request you do not go too far. Merci.
And I hope you're not saying that she hasn't turning the shelters into a sweatshop of some sort? Alright, I have 4 connections I need to make real fast. Let's see. Ernesto is fond of... Ernesto has business connections with family. Issues between the Major and Cassandra. Major leached into Cassandra. Cassandra more than a friend to Ernesto.
Order and method. That is the way to solve the problem.
Major involved in the workers' strike. Hugo has dirt on the Major. Gideon is trying to start negotiations.
This will not get me any closer to my goal.
I know. Jeez. Jackie doesn't trust the Major, obviously. Hugo's frustration. Hugo claims to have calmed down. I don't think he has calmed down. Gideon is trying to start. Gideon hesitates to mention past with the Major. Gideon denies his brother's drinking. Gideon wrote the letter. Gideon and Zachary quarrel. Gideon feels detached. Alright, how about this one and this one?
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
Not much, though. Brothers are unlikely to cooperate. Gideon is trying to start negotiations. Hugo has dirt on the Major. Gideon... I could say these two, but no, that's not going to do much. Ernesto is fond of Cassandra. Major involved in the workers' strikes.
I cannot see the logic in this.
Hugo's frustration. Jackie claims Margaret is hiding something. Jackie doesn't trust the Major. Ernesto and Cassandra's friendship. These two?
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
Alright. More people to talk to, yay. Ernesto is fond of Cassandra. Cassandra... Alright, Major... Major didn't approve of the marriage. Getting rid of the letters.
Order and method. That is the way to solve...
Yes, yes, I know. Gideon hesitates to mention the past of the Major. Maybe this has some sort of
I cannot see the
connection.
logic in this.
Well, you don't see the logic in it. Because I am having trouble seeing the logic here. How about these two?
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment.
Alright. Next we have Cassandra, more than a friend to Ernesto. Major leeching issues between these two.
This will not get me any closer to...
Alright, alright. It was worth a try. Let's see. Hugo's frustrated. Jackie claims is hiding something. Jackie doesn't trust the Major. No one really trusts the Major.
Is there something...
I have a feeling this is not going to go very far, but hey.
I must act on thought and fact.
Thought I already tried those two. Oh well, I kept hovering around them.
Things are beginning to become clearer.
Hugo claims to have calmed down since his argument with the Major, but Jackie disputed this. Alright, so talk to Ernesto and Margaret's again.
I am all yours, detective.
Push on the Major's aggression towards Cassandra.
Countess, you gave me the impression the Major and the Madame were close. But there were times where he acted rather aggressively to her, n'est-ce pas?
I am sorry, detective, but I did not mean to give you such an impression.
I've already built a rapport with the Countess. Some may even say, in a flirtatious manner, perhaps if I continue to charm her, she will reveal the information I require. It is obvious I, who am mistaken, a fine woman of your stature would not purposely lead a young man astray. If I have been mistaken, would you be so kind as to correct me in my train of thought? Let's be flirting.
Ever the charmer, detective. I would talk more on it, but I'm afraid Cassandra would think I am talking about her behind her back.
Well, you already are, so... The Countess has something more to say, but she still holds back. Alright. Something tells me it is more to do with receiving attention. Perhaps I can use that to my advantage. Cautionary. How would Madame Van den Bosch feel if she heard the contents of our conversation from me? Coercive. You obviously care a great deal about the madam. Assisting me will help clear her of any wrongdoing. That is what you want for her, isn't it?
It is not often I am swayed so easily. I applaud you on your willingness and persistence. From day one, I was wary of his intentions. And it was not long before he showed his true colors. If it is a tear she sheds, it should be one of joy that he is out of her life.
I understand your feelings towards the Major, but perhaps there was...
He was a bully. He took his shortcomings out on her, and she sat there and accepted it. I never thought I would see the day. Perhaps now she will be able to see the man he truly was. Karma will always catch up to you.
I see.
Merci, Countess. If I have any further questions, I shall be sure to come and find you.
Alright, just talk to Ernesto. Nothing new to connect there. Ernesto!
More questions? I suppose so.
Hopefully these are the last of the questions for now. Apologies for the insistent questions on the subject, but you and Madame Bosch,
Mademoiselle Conrad was quick to talk of your hidden feelings towards her. Perhaps only hidden to Madame Van den Bosch herself.
What has this got to do with the Major's death? Does Cassandra know you have spoken to others about this? I have only tried to help her.
I am merely asking the question. There is no reason to panic. It would greatly help me if you would answer honestly.
There may be some feelings there, but Madame Van den Bosch does not know of them, and I trust that it will remain that way.
I'm sure it will.
Merci for your cooperation.
Alright. I have my own opinion of the Major, one that is wiser, kept to myself, but I did not expect so many like-minded thinkers. I should think further on what I have heard in my quarters. Awesome. Well, this is going to be a fun event, isn't it, Archibald?
My time with the guests is complete, for tonight, at least.
Do you know who killed Major Hagen?
No, I do not, unfortunately.
I am afraid it is not as simple as that. There are many steps that lead to the truth. I must think on everything I have heard this evening and dissect the truths from the lies. Merci for your assistance this evening. Au revoir.
Came here expecting to solve a case of blackmail to relieve a family of a burden that has weighed upon them and overshadowed a joyous celebration. And yet, you're doing the same thing, except for not with blackmail, but murder. Alright. There have been to an engagement celebration where death has taken center stage before. Don't think anyone else has either. Unless you're a TV detective. Or in Midsummer. Although the guests' alibis confirm each other's, I still cannot rule out the possibility of one of them being involved in the Major's death. The relationships between some of the guests and the Major were more than rocky. Dislike towards him was plentiful, but enough to drive someone to murder? This is now the perfect opportunity to think about everything I have heard today. Alright, 5 connections I need to make. I have all the information I need. I must now compile it together and find the most probable culprit. Okay. Hugo has dirt on the Major. Jackie wants information from Hugo. Let's put these two together.
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
Yeah. Alright. Jackie claims Margaret is hiding something. Margaret and Cassandra are longtime friends. Threat to the Major. Alright. Let's see. Ernesto cares for Cassandra. Major involved in the workers' strike. Ernesto fronting money for house. Then we have Zachariah expresses disdain for Margaret. Gideon is trying to start negotiations. Gideon wrote the letter. Gideon hesitant to mention past with the Major. Zach is repressing something.
I must take a different approach if I am...
Zach's expression, disdain for... Okay, conflicts. Attitude. Oh boy. Alright. Gotta get this figured out. Cassandra, longtime friends. Margaret.
Come, my little gray cells.
Jackie knows a lot about the guests. True. Jackie claims Margaret is hiding something. Advice to the Major.
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
Yeah, that was a rough guess. The letter she sent protecting Cassandra was threatening indeed, and Jackie seems unable to determine her secret. Alright. Jackie wants information from Hugo. Jackie... Okay. Hugo invited by Gideon. Negotiations.
I cannot see the logic in this.
Well, sorry. Maybe this has something to do with it?
I must take a different approach if I...
Okay, calm down.
Things are beginning to become clearer.
Some of it yes, some of it no. Alright. Gideon's motive retribution. He's trying to start negotiations. Brothers are unlikely to cooperate.
This will not get me any closer to my...
I know. Just want to check.
Order and method. That is...
Well, it doesn't hurt to check on it. Or since Gideon... Zachary is pressing something... Ernesto for financing house. Major involved in the workers' strike. Ernesto cares. Let's put these two together.
Come, my little grey cell.
Okay, so... Over here?
I must act on thought and fact.
So... Here?
Another success. I never doubted myself.
Alright. Which means these two go together.
What a revelation!
Neither of us too blind or too tired to see that. Who could that be at this time?
Entrez.
Detective, I'm sorry I did not join you in the salon as requested.
It's alright.
Please, mademoiselle. There is no need to apologize.
I was with Maman in her room. She would not allow anyone to see it, but I could see she was terribly upset.
Most understandable.
Do you have any suspicions as to who could have killed him?
A few, but right now I'm drawing a blank because the only two people, or the only people who could have killed him are either Angeline, the madam, or one of her servants. And that's all I'm getting right now. Well, Zach could have, but I doubt it. And everyone's alibis are making it very hard to pinpoint one of them.
I'm afraid my suspicions extended across all of the party's guests. While it seems as though their alibis all corroborate one another's, the disdain and hostility towards the Major makes them rife with motive.
I know there was some bad blood between the Major and some of the guests, but not enough to kill him, surely. She may seem tough on the exterior, but she's really quite kind when you get to know her.
Maybe. She just had enough.
The Countess? She is a formidable force I would not want to come up against.
Don't be silly, Detective. She wouldn't hurt a soul. Jacqueline, I mean.
Alright. Well, let's, try and get this situated now.
I assume that's who you were talking about, Detective, after what happened between them.
That is a story I have yet to hear.
She must have told you about the piece she was writing on us, about Gideon's work and our marriage.
Yeah, she hasn't gotten to that. She's been too focused on other things.
Somehow that was the only thing she did not mention.
Or want to mention.
That's strange. I thought that is what she would have started the conversation with. Well, she had come to the house to interview me, and when I entered the library, she was there with Felix amid a rather heated conversation.
Do you know what this conversation regarded?
I'm afraid not, but Felix was quite enraged. He picked up an envelope from the table and stormed out, slamming the door behind him.
And Mademoiselle Conrad?
She was equally heated in the moment. She had a few choice words for him that I wouldn't care to repeat.
Good choice.
Better, thank you, Detective. She's resting in her room. It is the best place for her.
And you, Mademoiselle?
I'm not quite sure. It is a rather surreal feeling. I did not think I would miss him like I do.
It is understandable. He has been a close friend to your maman for many years.
And to me, Detective. We had grown close. After Father's passing, he was always there for me. And now, he's gone as well.
You must try and not think on it like that.
It is easier said than done, Detective.
I have no doubt, but you can be assured the culprit will not remain at large for long. You have
You have my word. Yes, you do. Poirot usually sticks to his word.
I'm sorry, but I just can't imagine any of them committing such a heinous crime.
It can often be hard to look past one's personal feelings for someone and see their flaws.
It's not that, Detective. It's just they have known each other for years. Why would any of them act now?
Perfect opportunity.
I was under the impression the Major had merely a business relationship with some of the guests.
That's true. But those invited know each other, some of them for years. They may not seem like it, but some are even friends. I should return to my room now, Detective. It has been a trying day for us all.
Okay.
Oui, mademoiselle. I am afraid tomorrow may bear a resemblance, but I will not stop until I have found his killer.
I am certainly glad you are here, Detective.
If I was not here, this whole murder may not have happened in the first place. Who knows?
When and where a detective is required, that is where I shall be. Bonne nuit, mademoiselle.
Angelina has left me with an interesting thought, one I had not considered until now. While at first glance the guests do not appear to show much fondness for each other, Angelina is quite sure that is not the case. Perhaps I must consider looking at the guests together, not individually. Yay. Back into your mind palace you go. Alright. One connection. Jackie bumped heads with the Major. Guests have known each other for years. Longtime friends.
Is there something I am not seeing?
Maybe it's just connecting this?
Come, my little grey cells. We must think logically.
Alright. So, maybe it's this and this.
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
Well, more contemplation than anything. Alright.
Magnifique.
Am I going to get a clear mark now? No, I got a new, Jackie seems suspicious. Gideon's motives, retribution. Let's try putting these two together.
Order and method. That...
Alright. Then how about... Guests have known each other for years.
I must act on... I cannot see the logic in this.
Well... Oh. That's where I was trying to connect something that was not even...
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
Okay. Do not know who I can trust, or whose stories I can believe. Are the guests innocent? All suspects are suspicious. Let's put these two together.
Things are beginning to be...
Yeah. And now doubt how trustworthy their stories may be, they may well be covering for each other. There is no physical way one of the guests could have killed the Major, and return to the party unless that is where I am mistaken. It is not one guilty party. I should be looking for rather multiple. Oh no. How could I have not considered that the Major's death was part of a ploy created and executed by more than one of the guests? It came almost as an epiphany following Angeline's remark about the guests' sharing past. Perhaps Angeline will become the trusted ally that I now sense may be essential to catch the guilty parties. Tonight's questioning was only the beginning. I will allow my suspects to sleep on their stories, and we will see how they fare tomorrow. Perhaps one of those involved will have morals enough to show a glimmer of regret. Depends on who it is. Considering they may be working together, I cannot be sure who has told the truth and who has attempted to sell me down the river. Perhaps I should sleep on the matter. Good night's sleep will surely bring a new dawn of thinking, and what a better setting to do so in than the peaceful falling blanket of snow that surrounds us all. Although it seems not everyone has the same idea. It's freezing out there. Who are you? And with that, I think I'm going to leave it here, and I'll see you guys in the next video when we enter Chapter 5, The Secret. So until then, see you guys.